All right, we're talking footy pubs and specifically what makes a good footy pub. Now, I reckon we just get this out of the way off the bat. Footy pubs, separate to like your favourite just pub, right? You go with your mates, Saturday arvo, cheeky beer or 30. This is just, I'm there, I want to watch the footy, and these are the things I need. So we've got 20 different characteristics of pubs we've been to, and we've got to do it draft style, 5 for you, 5 for me, and we've got to find our perfect pub. Liam, you have the floor.
I got the first pick.
You got first pick.
First pick of the overall draft. I feel like the Chicago
This is your Tim Couch moment.
For me, you've got to have a big screen.
Okay.
You can't be watching the footy on a tiny screen in the corner, or you can't have multiple different TVs. You've got to have one big screen that's got the footy playing. It's got to be clear. Preferably HD would be nice. Okay. But a big screen where everyone can focus their attention on the one screen and you don't have eyes divided everywhere.
How big are we talking? So I always use, if I could carry it with my little T-Rex arms, it's not big enough. But do you need like floor to ceiling kind of situation going on?
I don't need floor to ceiling, but not something that you'd have in anyone's living room unless you're, I don't know, Bill Gates or someone else that's got lots of money.
Yep.
You want something that wouldn't fit in your living room. You want a really big TV, not a VMAX or anything like that.
Okay, yep.
But a nice sizable screen that you wouldn't be able to carry, yes.
Okay, good. I can get around that. I'm going to go the sound playing. Now, as I said, if it's a footy pub, I'm just there to watch the footy. I want to be able to hear the sound. Don't get me wrong, I'm the biggest Swiftie going around. But if I'm watching the footy, I want to be able to hear, like, even though he doesn't commentate anymore, I want to hear whoever, Ray Warren or whoever's commentating, like just murder names and talk about something that happened 5 plays ago. Maybe Gus just say no for 5 minutes on loop. For some reason, that is what I need out of footy. So that would be almost more important to me than a big screen.
Okay, with my second pick,
number 2
in the draft, I'm going to go craft beer.
Ooh, fancy man.
Okay. Until maybe a few years ago, I was more of a just VB or Carlton Dry man, but I've become a little bit more cultured in my old age. I love my crafties. It's good when you've got a nice big selection of beers instead of just rocking up, especially if you're with a big group of boys and you're going in a shout and you've got 4 beers that look the same, but it's Carlton VB and Tooheys New.
Yeah.
Makes it tough. So if you got your crafties, a bit of mixing and matching, I think that's good and just something nice and tasty to suckle on while you're watching the footy.
4-person shout, that'll be $65. Thanks, brother. Have you ever been to an English pub though, like watch the EPL or whatever, where it's warm beer? This is nothing new, but drinking warm beer in shouts is possible. I'm not 100% up on the Geneva Convention, but it's possibly a war crime. It's horrendous. So
that does sound disgraceful.
I wouldn't do it. Cold craft beer, that was going to be my number 2. I like that. What I don't care about is jersey wearing fans. Don't need it. It's fine. I love jerseys. I wear jerseys a lot myself, but I don't need it. Clean toilets, no. Nah, that's fine. Even though I wear thongs to the pub, so rough. I'm going to go with outdoor screens, which is more of a subsection of big screens, but even in the middle of winter, if you can watch the footy outside, that's for me. And especially now that it's not, Neville Dartos and his 35 mates having some gaspers, there's actually, you can sit outside, watch the footy, not see through like the smoke. I reckon that would be, that'd be number 2 for me.
I don't mind it. I'm impartial to an outdoor setting to watch the footy, even if it is freezing cold. It does make it tough if it's pissing down rain though, that's the only thing. So you've got to have the options, I think, of both.
Watching Titans Tigers on a Friday night in the pouring rain.
I don't think I'd even watch that at home, actually. For me, number 3 pick, big punter. I'm going to say a tab area or a few tab terminals. I know everyone these days likes to bet on their phone, but there's nothing better than sitting at a table on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. You've got the tab ticket, you got a first try scorer, you've got Blake Laurie to get crash over first. He scored 1 try in 1,000 NRL games.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it doesn't come off this time like the other 55 times that you've backed it. You scrunch it up, you throw it in the empty schooner glass and the lovely bartenders will come and collect it for you in 20 or 30 minutes. But you have to look at at your misery for a little bit longer. Those scrunched up tab tickets, it just gives a good vibe, I think, having a tab terminal and doing cash bets. It's always a little bit more fun.
Analog. What kind of dodgy stuff are you doing where you have cash on you?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be the only time I would if I'm at the pub and having a little punt with the lads.
Weird. It is definitely not for me. I'm going to go with counter space. Hard to find in a footy pub. One of my favourite footy pubs is the East Sydney in Woolloomooloo, and it has about 13, 14 spots. Mostly you're sitting at the counter, like so, watching a TV behind the bartender. I love that. I reckon that is the perfect setting. That could possibly have been higher, but I couldn't read my 2-year-old scribble, so I completely forgot it was there. Bang, all right, 3 for both. You got 2 more, what do you got?
Speaking of 2-year-olds, I don't have children myself, but the last thing I want when I'm watching a game of footy, especially if it's my own team, is screaming kids running around, running in front of the screen, carrying on, parents have to look after them, all that kind of stuff. No offence to all the parents out there, but it is pretty annoying when kids are screaming and you're trying to watch a big game of footy. So a kid's playground. I think that's a good one. You can banish them off somewhere else. I'm sure in 10 years' time when I've got kids of my own, I'm sure that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, especially if the Red V are playing against the Sharks on a Friday night. Don't really want the little runs crawling around.
Yeah, especially on the sticky carpet. 2 showers when they get home. For me, proximity to either for work, like if you're watching on a Friday night, Thursday night, or home, best. Sunday arvo, a few cheeky beers, and then it's a 2 to 5 minute walk home. Absolutely perfect. Again, could have been higher, but I couldn't really understand my scribble. And also sound playing is very important. So yeah, proximity to home. My local, great footy pub, horrendous beer barn, like most Sydney pubs are, but when the footy's playing, sound's on, big screen, you can sit at the counter, and then it's a 2-minute walk home.
Must be nice. Don't have any pubs within walking distance of where I live, so that makes it tough for me to pick them in my draft.
What do you got?
Final selection, my Mr. Irrelevant. Pool table, darts, gives you something to do in between games. If you're there for a whole Super Saturday, you might have a 3 and a 5:30. That little 45-minute window in between the first and the second game. You want something to do instead of sitting around and probably wasting your money on Randwick or Flemington.
Yeah.
Go and play a bit of pool, have a bit of fun with the boys or the girls. I think having a pool table there, especially if it's free. I know one of my favourite places to go and watch the footy or any sport for that matter is Highfields in Caringbah.
Yep.
That's got a pool table set up. A favourite of mine.
Interesting. We are not so similar. Okay, final for me. You know what? I quite like fancy food. Don't get me wrong. You got your schnitzel, you got your chicken in pajamas. And that's enough most days of the week, but I like options. If you want to try to make garlic bread a little bit fancy for me, I'm all for that. If I'm feeling crazy, I don't know, maybe I'll go the seafood platter and God knows what'll happen to me. I might lose a few kilos. That's not a complete loss. But fancy food, I think is especially nice. So that's my 5. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. You happy with yours?
I'm happy with mine. Hit me with chicken wings or pizza any day of the week over anything fancy.
Okay, simple man, I get it. Let us know below what your thoughts are. What do you reckon we've missed out on?